Right, so I bought the Insta360 Go 3S. You can see the price there, it's 769 Australian dollars. And I have my receipt right here. Right? Proof that I bought it with my own money, okay? Now, you're probably wondering, oh, are you going to do an unboxing? I don't actually know yet because I've been watching a few reviews, and obviously the people who were sent these have been talking about how great it is, including people that I respect, and my go-to people when it comes to tech reviews are camera reviews, and truly, because they are obviously comparing it to the Insta360 Go 3, which is the predecessor of this one, there is obviously massive improvements, and I think that is one of the reasons why I impulsively purchased this at JB Hi-Fi today. Braved the rain, hence why my hair is still wet and why I've got a blanket around my legs, because I got rained on. Anyway, why haven't I opened it and why haven't I played around with it when I usually am very eager to do these things? Mainly because I bought it from JB Hi-Fi. The rules here in Australia is unless your item is defective, you can't actually return it once you've broken the seal. So because I am not yet sure that I actually want to keep this, I'm holding back. And it's taking all of my strength not to pry this open. And I'll tell you why I'm holding back. I'm probably waiting for Amazon Australia to start carrying this, which would be probably in a few days' time. But the reason why I haven't opened it is because as I'm going through so many video reviews and showcasing of this camera, it seems that everyone fails to mention what is the sensor size in this thing. They all start talking about, oh, it's a new 4K resolution, it's got Find My camera on your Apple phones. It's got what did they say? Improved. What is it called? Now 10 meters. You can go into the water for 10 meters underwater instead of the 5 that the previous one had. There's quite a few improvements that they've made, and honestly, some people are saying, well, this should have been called an Insta360 Go 4K because now it's 4K, and it's the improvements are significant and not just like new iterations of the same thing. And I kind of agree with them on that. But I also found that there are some things that they don't really mention, which is not being able to connect an external mic on it. The fact that so it's 4K, but it's only at up to 30 frames per second. Although, to me, that doesn't really matter because I always shoot in 24 frames per second anyway. And I have my DJI Pocket 3 that can shoot in higher frame rates. And I've also got my Insta360 X4. And this is actually my justification for getting this. If you remember in the previous video, I actually got the Insta360 Ace Pro, did a first impressions video, did an unboxing, and then promptly returned it because I was thinking, well, the things that thing can do, this can do. And in most cases, it is the same thing with this, but the form factor of this camera is what made me want to buy it because it's small, it's got a great form factor for that POV shot. It is inconspicuous. It's a bit more subtle, so people around you wouldn't be shocked when you're wearing a camera on yourself. But yeah, I started digging and found, so my DJI Pocket 3 has got a 1-inch sensor. Okay, my Insta360 X4 has got a 1/1.3 inch sensor. This guy here has a 1/2.3 inch sensor, which is tiny. So if you're expecting this to be any good in low light, you might get disappointed. And that's one of my fears. That's why I haven't opened it. The other thing that I thinking about with this is, I know it has, like, that artificial intelligence computing, whatever, that makes it easy for you to edit, and it's probably going to help with the low light situation as well. La 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 la. But I have yet to see people actually testing it. I have seen one review by Rob HK where he talks about the low light capability, but the low light testing that he did was in an amusement park filled with bright lights. So I don't think I'm going to take his word for that. Okay, and I do know that he is one of the tech reviewers who gets sent stuff by Insta360. So I'm taking that with a grain of salt. Yeah, so this has got a 1/2.3 inch sensor. With the size of this camera being only just the size of a thumb, I kind of get why they can't put in a bigger sensor. But then I look at my DJI Pocket 3 that is also kind of tiny, because the camera on this thing is actually the only thing that's on the gimbal. And if they can fit a 1-inch sensor in there, why can't they do that here? I do like the idea of this being magnetic and that you can put it on any metallic surface. There's a few accessories that come in the box as well that make it easier to start filming with it right away. But yeah, the drawback is, from what I've seen, the internal audio of this camera is actually okay, but I would still like to have that option to be able to connect an external microphone to it. Another thing, this keeps slipping my mind, but it only has internal memory. It doesn't have capacity to have a micro SD added to it to expand that memory. So I've actually gotten the one that is 128 gigs instead of the 64, because I would rather have that and not have to transfer files all the time. Now, they did create a quick reader where you can actually attach, or insert is the word I'm thinking of. Insert an SD card for you to be able to move the files from the camera to an SD card. But my thinking is, why create a quick reader when you could have placed that reader inside the action pod so that you can put the SD card in the action pod? Then you wouldn't have to buy a secondary equipment for you to be able to transfer files. You get what I mean? Like, with the size of the action pod being the same size as, let's say, my Action 4, and couldn't they have put in the SD card slot in here, and then when you connect your camera to the action pod, be able to transfer the files from the camera to the action pod through the SD card? Was that an impossible thing to think of? I don't know. So that's why I'm holding back, because I'm not sure if I want to open this, because if I open this, there is no returning it. It is permanently stuck with me. Whereas if I wait a little bit and buy it from Amazon, if I decide within 30 days to change my mind that I don't want it anymore, then I have that opportunity to return it. So I'm going to hold back, taking all my strength, but I'm going to hold back and see if I can hold off on opening this until Amazon starts to carry this, Amazon Australia. Right, that was a long ramble, wasn't it? Let me know in the comments section down below if you have any questions about this particular camera. What stuff do you want me to test with these? And what I'll probably do if I ever end up getting it on Amazon, or if I lose my patience and just open this, I'm going to create a little bit of a vloggy video just to show you how I intend to use this, because this isn't going to be my main camera. This is going to be a POV, behind the scenes kind of thing. All right. Speak to you then.